Namaskar. Welcome to today's class. Today we shall discuss another poem written by a romantic poet, John Keats. And the title of the poem is Ode to a Nightingale. After I discuss the lines with you, I will also discuss what an ode is and how the characteristics of an ode have been reflected in the poem by the poet. My heart aches, and a drowsy numbness pains my sense, as though of hemlock I had drunk, or emptied some dull opiate to the drains 1 minute past, and leathwards had sunk. It's not through envy of thy happy lot, but being too happy in thine happiness, that thou, light-winged dryad of the trees, in some melodious plot of Bacchus' green, and shadows numberless, singest of summer in full-throated ease. Now, the poet is talking about a nightingale. He is not able to see the nightingale, but he hears its melodious voice. This poem was written during the spring of 1819, and he says, my heart aches, and a drowsy numbness pains my sense. What is numbness? Numbness, to feel numb, is to lose. You feel as if you have lost sensation and you are not able to feel anything. Okay. When we sit cross-legged for a long time at one place, you feel as if there is no sensation in your fingers, in your feet. So my heart aches, and a drowsy numbness pains my sense. And I am not able to feel anything. As if my senses have become numb. I am not able to feel anything. As though of hemlock I had drunk. Hemlock is a poison. Hemlock is a highly poisonous plant. He says, as if I have drunk a little bit of poison. I feel like that. My heart is in pain. My body feels numb and tired. I feel as if I have drunk from that poisonous tree called hemlock, or emptied some dull opiate. Opiate is opium. Okay. Or as if I have, taken a little bit of opium. Once you take opium, it makes you feel as if you are not experiencing any pain. Or some dull opiate to the drains 1 minute past, as if I took a little bit of opium, and lead words had sunk. What is lead? There is a reference to, allusion to Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, lead means a river of forgetfulness, oblivion, or concealment. This is one river, a reference to a river in Greek mythology, which is the river of forgetfulness. You take bath in it, you forget everything. So now this is the impact the Nightingale song is having on the poet. Your song, it has enchanted me to such an extent. I feel I am benumbed. There is no pain. I am enchanted. I have forgotten about my physical presence. Okay. As if I have drunk poison or eaten a little bit of opium or taken bath in lead. It's not through envy of thy happy lot. I know you are very happy. No, I am not envious of you, jealous of you. I am not, it's not jealous. You can sing, I can't sing. So I must be jealous of you. No, I am not jealous of you. I am not jealous of your happy state, your happy fate. Who can sing? Who can sing a melodious and enchanting song? One who is delighted, one who feels joyous, one who feels happy and ecstatic. So the poet says, no, no, I am not happy and ecstatic. I am not joyous. I am not delighted. I can't sing. You are singing. So there is every reason to be jealous of you. But I am not jealous of you. But being too happy in thy happiness. I am happy. I share your happiness. I am too happy in thine, in your happiness. Your happiness, your state of happiness makes me feel very delighted. I share your happiness. That thou, light winged dryad of the trees. Dryad is a spirit, tree spirit. A tree spirit is a dryad. He is saying, oh, tree spirit, as if he is addressing it. There is an address to the nightingale. The poet is addressing, oh, tree spirit. He calls it the tree spirit because spirits are not visible. He is not able to see the nightingale. He is only able to hear its voice, melodious and enchanting voice, coming from somewhere from the tree. And he says, in some melodious plot, O dryad of the trees, O spirit of the trees, of beseech green. Okay? Beechen green, and shadows numberless, singest of summer in full throated ease. So beechen consisting of wood of the beech tree. Beech is a type of tree. You are singing, you are sitting in some beech tree. There are many. This is a grove. This is a grove of beech trees. You are sitting somewhere and you are singing in a full throated voice. Very loudly you are singing. I am able to hear your song although I don't see you. I feel delighted. I share your happiness. I am not envious of you. I am not jealous of you. O dryad of the trees, O light winged dryad of the trees, he is addressing the nightingale in these words. I am very happy. I feel as if my pain is all gone. The pain of my heart is all gone. As if I have become benumbed. As if I have become senseless. I am enchanted. Your song has enchanted me like this. For a draught of vintage that has been cooled a long age in the deep delved earth, tasting of flora and the country green, dance and provincial song and sunburnt mirth. Oh, for a beaker full of the one south, full of the true, the blushful hypocrite, with beaded bubbles winking at the brim, and purple stained mouth, that I might drink and leave the world unseen, and with thee fade away into the forest dim. Deep delved, deep delved earth. Da da sound, repeated, alliteration. Oh, for a draught of vintage. I wish I had some vintage wine. A vintage wine is a superior wine. No, it is actually that wine is kept under the earth for a long time. They dig the earth and keep it under the earth so that it would taste better. Its taste would improve. Old wine tastes better. Vintage wine, old wine. So I wish I had a draught of that. ଢୋକେ ମୁଁ ଯଦି ପିଇ ଦିଅନ୍ତି ନା ସେଇ କେମିତିଆ ସେଟା ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା wine that has been cooled a long age in the deep delved earth. Deep delved means to search especially as if by digging in order to find something or some information. There you dig the earth, you put it there, put the wine there, and with the passage of time, its taste improves. And it's very expensive also, very costly. That has been cooled along it. That wine which has been cooled under the earth for a very long time. That special wine. And how would it taste? Tasting of flora, it would taste of flora and the country green. Wine that tastes of flowers, flora flowers, and the countryside. Smell of the aroma of countryside would be there. Okay. And dance, provincial song, provincial song, some folk singing, some folk singing, and sunburnt mirth. Mirth is joy. Sunburnt, exposed to the sun. People are happy, dancing, singing songs, happiness, flowers, country green, you know, all nature. So collected from this wine must be collected from some natural surrounding where nature is found in abundance. Okay, wine, this wine that tastes of flowers and the countryside, dance, song, and happy sunshine, it would, you know, smell of that. Or for a beaker, this is a wish. I wish I had this. Or for a beaker full of the warm south, or a bottle of wine, a beaker of wine that we can get in the southern land, southern parts, full of the true, the blushful, blushfully shy, and hypocrite. Hypocrite is another allusion to the Greek mythology. In the Greek mythology, Hippocrene is a fountain of the muses, fountain of the muses, M-U-S-E-S, on Mount Helicon, Mount Helicon, Helicon, you know, and is supposed to be a source of poetic inspiration. So, you know, or muses, we say muses. Huh? So, poets, when they start writing, they write a few lines in honor of the muses. Muses, uh, the Mount Helicon is supposed to be the seat of the muses who inspire poetry, gods of poetry. Okay, with beaded bubbles, alliteration, winking at the brim. Brim is the top, brim is the edge of the cup. If you are, I wish I could get a beaker from the south, beaker of wine from the south with the bubbles playing on them, bubbles playing on the surface, bubbles playing on the brim of the cup, brim of the beaker, and purple stained mouth. And when you drink it, the stain of the liquor sticks to your lips. I wish I could get that I might drink and leave the world unseen. So that's a way for me to leave this real world. This world is extremely painful for me. I want to leave this world and go to your world. Your world is full of happiness, full of joy, and therefore you can sing. In your world, it is possible to sing. In my world, it is not possible to sing. So your world is an imaginary world. My world is a real world. Okay. So this can be a question. The real world versus the imaginary world in Ode to the Nightingale, Ode to a Nightingale. that I might drink and leave the world unseen, and with thee fade away into the forest dim. I want to fade away, fly away into the dim forest with you, my dear. This is what I want. I want to leave this world, the freight and fever of the world, the problems, difficulties associated with this world, and get transported into your world. Fade far away, for sound, fade far away, dissolve, and quite forget what thou amongst the leaves have never known. Nightingale, you are singing from among the leaves, from among the branches. You are sitting there among the branches of the beech tree, and you are singing at a full throated voice. Your heart is jumping in joy. I want to dissolve into your world, disappear into your world. Because once I disappear into your world, why I want to disappear into your world? Once I forget my world and disappear into your world, what will happen? I want to forget what thou among the leaves hath never known. I want to go to your world because in your world something doesn't exist. What is that something? The weariness, the fever, and the fret here. What is happening in this world, this real world which I inhabit, in which the poet lives? There are troubles, difficulties, problems. Okay? The weariness, the fever, the fret, fever and fret, problems, difficulties. Here, men sit and hear each other groan. Groaning is crying out in pain. People groan here, cry out in pain. They are so much tortured that they cry out in pain. Where palsy shakes a few, palsy is paralysis, where people are affected by paralysis. ସମସ୍ତେ କଣ affected by paralysis? ରାସ୍ତାରେ ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକ ଆକ୍ସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇକି ପଡ଼ିଛି, ତମେ ତାକୁ ଉଠଉନ, ତାମାନେ କଣ? You have paralysis. You must treat each human being with a sense of love. ତମ ନିଜ ପୁଅ ପଡ଼ିଥାନ୍ତା, ତମକୁ ଉଠେଇକି ନ ଉଠେଇକି ପଳେଇଥାନ୍ତ, ପଳେଇ ନଥାନ୍ତ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆଉ ଅନ୍ୟଜଣଙ୍କ କଥା ଆସୁଛି, it is as if you are affected by paralysis. ସେଠି ଗୋଟେ ଝିଅକୁ ରେପ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ତମେ ଚୁପଚାପ ଦେଖୁଛ ଛିଡ଼ା ହେଇକି, ତମେ କିଛି କରୁନ। ତମ ନିଜ ଝିଅ ହେଇଥିଲେ ଛାଡ଼ିଥାନ୍ତ। It is as if you are affected by paralysis. ତ paralysis ଏଇ ସେନ୍ସରେ ୟୁଜ କରାଯାଇଛି, inactivity. So here people sit and hear each other groan, where palsy shakes a few. Sad, everybody is sad, affected by paralysis, grey hairs, old age, where youth grows pale. Youth is symbolic of action, energy, vibrant. Youth is vibrant. But youth has grown pale. Disease and old age, they have taken over human beings. Youth has become, the youth, young people have become spectre thin, completely thin, very thin. And diseased, dies. Where but to think is to be full of sorrow, and leaden-eyed despairs. Where is to think, you are full of sorrow. Okay? And you are full. So, wherever you go, there is disease, there is despair, there is suffering, there is sadness, there is pain. Where beauty cannot keep her lustrous eyes, O Nightingale. This is a place, this is a world in which we live where beauty has lost its luster, beauty, shine, attractiveness. And where new love pine at them beyond tomorrow. Love is not everlasting. It doesn't last longer. Beyond tomorrow, it dies. Where love is short-lived. Where love is not perennial, not permanent. Love is temporary, transitory, transient. So, this is a diseased world. This is a world where everybody suffers. This is a world where old men suffer, young people suffer, lovers suffer. So, I want to leave this world and fly away into your world, because in your world, these things are not there. This Your world is not afflicted with these diseases, and so you can sing so peacefully, so with a full throated ease. Now, away, away, for I will fly to thee, not charioted by Bacchus and his parts. Bacchus, Bacchus is the Roman god of agriculture, wine, and fertility, and he is equivalent to the Greek god Dionysius. Roman god Bacchus. So I will not be, chariot is a rath. So I will not be driven by, how will I go to your world? Not driven by Bacchus and his birds, leopards. ସେ ଯୋଉ ରଥଟା ଚଲାଉଛନ୍ତି ସେଟା ଲେପର୍ଡ ଟାଣୁଛନ୍ତି, ତ ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କ ରଥରେ ଯିବିନି. But I will go on the viewless wings of poesy, my poetic creation. Through my poetry, which has no wings, I will go to your world. Okay, so how will I go to your world? I will go to your world through these viewless wings of poesy. Though the dull brain perplexes and retards, my dull brain doesn't allow me poetic creation. It is retarding, expelling. It is not in a state to, I am not in a state to write anything because I have a dull brain. But I want to go to your world through my poems. Through my poems. Already with thee, tender is the night. This night is soft and delicate and charming and beautiful. In your presence, this night has become delicate, beautiful, soft and tender. And happily, the queen moon is there on the throne. Queen moon is there on the throne. Personification, as if the queen moon is a queen and it's sitting on a throne, on her throne. Clustered around, gathered around by her starry fairies. As if queen moon is sitting there, she is being she is being attended to by her fairies. But here, I am sorry, there is no light. Save what from heaven is with the bridges blown. Bridges blown. Baba, alliteration. Except, save is except a little light that is coming from heaven. That bridges blow here, a little light being blown by the bridges, by the breeze. Except that there is no light. Light is symbolic of hope. There is complete darkness, hopelessness. Darkness is symbolic of hopelessness, despair, despondency. Light is symbolic of hope. So there is no hope, there is complete hopelessness. But in your world there is light. And through verdurous glooms and winding mossy ways. So verdurous means freshly green, verdant. Freshly green. Okay. Mossy ways. Moss, winding is what? Winding is turning and twisting. Turning and twisting. Which is not straight. A path which is not straight. Winding mossy ways. Mossy, full of moss. Moss, you must have seen a small flowerless green plant which grows in the damp habitats where it is damp, শিউলি যেটা বলে moss শিউলি. So the gloomy atmosphere, whatever little light comes, this light comes from heaven. Except that little, so there is little hope. There is a little hope. So in the first four stanzas, what the poet has done, poet has described the beauty of the nightingale's world. In comparison, his own world is affected by paralysis, affected by troubles, inflicted with difficulties. So he wants to live his own world and he wants to be transported into the imaginary world of the nightingale. So here we stay. We shall go to the next four stanzas in the second part of this video. Thank you very much.